Hey there, if you're in the medical field, you definitely know that feeling of just drowning in information. So today, we're going to break down a strategy called MedNote LM. It's designed to help you study smarter, not just harder. Let's dive right in.
Did you know that right now, this very second, your body is making about 2 million new red blood cells? It's just mind-blowing. And that's just a tiny piece of this incredible, fast-flowing river of life that's inside all of us. So today, we're going to dive deep into that river, your blood.
I mean, think about it. It just looks like a simple drop of red liquid, right? But if you could zoom in, really zoom in, you'd find this bustling, microscopic city. It's packed with workers, defenders, messengers, every single one with a critical job to do. So let's go take a closer look and see what's really going on in there. All right, so here's our roadmap for this journey. First, we'll cover what hematology even is. Then, we'll break down what's actually in our blood. After that, we'll find out where it all comes from, the blood cell factory, if you will. We'll look at its most critical missions, and then, finally, we'll touch on what happens when this incredible system gets out of balance.
Okay, let's jump right in. First up, what is hematology? When you hear that word, what are we really talking about? Well, to put it simply, it's the science behind our body's most vital fluid. So, hematology is basically the branch of medicine that's all about our blood. But it's not just the blood itself. It's also about the places that make it, like our bone marrow, and of course, all the diseases that can affect it. It's the field that looks at the whole picture, from how it works perfectly to all the complex reasons it might not. Which brings us perfectly to our next stop, the river of life. Let's deconstruct this river and see what's actually floating around inside it. Okay, so this might actually surprise you. Your blood is more liquid than it is cells. No, really, about 55% of it is this yellowish fluid called plasma. The other 45%, well, that's what scientists call formed elements, which is just a fancy way of saying all the cells and cell fragments doing the heavy lifting.
So let's break that down a bit more. That plasma, it's mostly water, sure, but think of it as the delivery truck of the bloodstream. It's carrying all these critical proteins, hormones, and even waste products all over your body. And the formed elements, they're the real workhorses. You've got your red blood cells, the oxygen carriers, your white blood cells, the bodyguards, and platelets, the emergency repair crew.
Okay, so we have all these specialized cells, millions and millions of them. But where do they all come from? Well, that leads us right into our next section, the blood cell factory. This whole incredible process has a name, hematopoiesis, and it's happening right now, constantly, deep inside your bone marrow. But here's the part that is just absolutely amazing. It all starts with one single type of master cell, the hematopoietic stem cell. Think about that. This one blank slate cell can turn into any kind of blood cell your body needs at any given moment.
Now, this factory isn't just running wild. Oh no, it has production managers. These are hormones that send specific orders to the bone marrow. For example, if your body senses you need more oxygen, your kidneys send out a hormone called erythropoietin. You might have heard of it as EPO, and that tells the factory, hey, make more red blood cells. Or, if you're fighting an infection, you get these things called colony-stimulating factors, or CSFs, that basically shout, we need more white blood cells, stat. It's such a beautifully precise and responsive system, it's incredible.
All right, so we know what blood is made of and where it comes from. But what does it actually do all day? Let's talk about its day job. It's time for Section 4, Blood's Critical Missions. It really boils down to 3 main jobs. First, it's a transport system. Think of it like a biological superhighway, moving everything, oxygen, nutrients, hormones, to where they need to go and hauling the trash away. Second, it's our protection force. You've got the white blood cells fighting off invaders and the platelets patching up any leaks. And third, it's a master regulator, just constantly working to keep our body temperature, pH, and fluids perfectly balanced. It's a tough job. But, like any complex system, sometimes things can go wrong. This finely tuned machine can run into trouble. And that brings us to our final section. What happens when things go wrong? Let's take a look at some common blood disorders. When it comes to red blood cells, a lot of the problems are really about balance. It's all about the numbers. If you have too few, or if they don't have enough of that key protein hemoglobin, you get anemia. And that's why people feel so tired and weak. But then on the flip side, if you have too many red blood cells, that's called polycythemia. It actually makes your blood thicker and a lot harder for your heart to pump.
And it's a pretty similar story with your white blood cells.
If your count is too low, that's leukopenia, your immune system is weakened, leaving you really vulnerable. But if your count is too high, that's called leukocytosis, and it's often a big red flag that your body's in the middle of a fight against something, like an infection.
And finally, let's talk platelets. Again, balance is absolutely everything here. If you have too few platelets, a condition called thrombocytopenia, you can have problems with bleeding and bruising. But if you have too many, thrombocytosis, you get the exact opposite problem, and a really dangerous one, the risk of forming abnormal blood clots.
And that really sums it all up, doesn't it? Hematology is the amazing field that links these tiny, microscopic cells in our bodies to some of our biggest, most significant health challenges. So you see, your blood is constantly telling a story. It's a story about your health, your habits, even your environment. After seeing just how much it does for you, day in and day out, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What is your blood story saying about you?